All right, VC. So the second kind of foam roll sequence when we're looking at our legs here is instead of just like randomly foam rolling things that kind of hurt, if you want a systematic approach to it, this is kind of the routine I teach a lot of people. It's very simple and straightforward, but it's effective because it both targets every single thing in their leg and will help you identify certain areas that need a little bit more love. So the way it goes is you take, let's say we take our leg, we have the lower part of our leg, we have the upper part of our leg, and then we have our glute. So you're going to take each side of your leg and you do 30 seconds of rolling on it, okay? So for the calf, you can kind of do like back, medial side, which is towards the middle, and the lateral side, which is the lateral. Then you're going to go to thigh up here, quad area. You're going to do 30 seconds on the front, 30 seconds on the inside, 30 seconds on the back, on the lateral side, and 30 seconds on the hamstring. And then you're going to go up to the glute and you spend 30 seconds there. You just do that on each leg and then you're done. But as you go along, if you find a spot that needs a little bit more attention, you hang out on that spot for a few seconds more. So if you just go straight through, that's like 1:30 plus 2 minutes plus another maybe minute back here. We're looking at what, 4.5 minutes. I like that. There's 10 minutes right there. Cool. There's 10 minutes foam roll if you're done. So starting right here, back of the calves, supporting yourselves. That's 30 seconds just through the calf. And like mine doesn't feel too terrible on the lower part, more towards the foot, but on the upper part, it's a little more sensitive. So I'm going to sit right there and I'm going to foam roll. So now there's a couple techniques. If you go fast and light, that's excitatory. I mean, it's going to kind of like make the muscles kind of wake up, be like, hey, let's go have fun. If they're already kind of sore and you want to calm them down a little bit more, a deeper pressure, meaning like you can actually push your leg down onto it, a deeper, slower pressure back and forth is more effective at calming things down, especially in a recovery sense, than like, hey, I want to get my muscles excited and ready to go. So as you go along, if you roll over a spot that's a little extra tender, is what you do is you can stop right there, and then instead of going forward and back, you go left and right. So I kind of go on my calf, I'm scanning, I'm still doing it 30 seconds. Ooh, that spot's a little tender. Left and right on that one spot, back and forth. After about 5 or 6 times back and forth, that thing starts to calm down a bit. And then continue. Okay, 30 seconds is up. Go to the inner side of the calf. Inner side of the calf right here. Same thing, scanning. I find something, I go, ooh, that's not too great. Kind of roll back and forth on it. Steady pressure down. Doing the lateral side, the peroneals. Go back and forth, scanning. You get the idea. Now you move that up to the quad. You're going to flip over onto your stomach. And I'll do my left leg so it's easier to see. We'll start with 30 seconds on the very front of it. So back and forth, all the way to the top of the kneecap, all the way up to the hip, slow and steady, finding any spots that are a little tender and need a little bit of love. Ooh, right there needs a little bit of love. Stop and you roll back and forth on it. Calm it down. So 30 seconds done there. You go to the lateral side. I'll demonstrate my right leg. So you go to the lateral side, starting all the way down at the knee joint. This is where people are like, foam roll the IT band. You're not really lengthening the IT band at all, but you are hitting the vastus lateralis, the muscles on the side of your quad, and calming that down as you go back and forth. So if you find a spot, ooh, extra tender, kind of stop on that spot for a second and roll left and right lightly. Or the other technique is you just stop and hold on there. Take a deep breath in. Settle your weight onto it a little harder and then move it back and forth. That's another great way to calm it down. So that's the side. Then you go hamstring on the back there, all the way up to the butt and back down. Typically not going to be too sore because bike riding we don't use a lot of hamstring. That's going to do a lot better with the hamstring stretch. Then the last one is be the inner part, the adductor part of the thigh. This one, very hard to look cool while you're doing it, but it's going to take the foam roll almost at an angle. You're going to kind of get on it like you're humping it. So kind of awkward if you're in a public place, but you're going to get on the side of the foam roll. You're going to roll. You're going to roll the inside with your groin. Oh, all the way up. Watch your balls. Don't crush the balls. Back and forth, 30 seconds. Then the last one, glute. So you can roll just the glute like this, where your leg's down. I much prefer cross-legged. You can do a couple things. When you do the cross-legged and you kind of push your knee down, it takes your piriformis and puts it under stretch. So then when you go and roll it, oh, you actually get all of the external rotators of the hip as you go. And then same thing here. You find a spot, roll back and forth on the foam roller. Remember, we're all just playing with the nervous system here. Putting pressure through the muscles is going to down-regulate the muscle tone, just like if I was going to massage. So if you had the same spot that was tender and you were laying on my table here, I would take my elbow or my hand and go in and put some pressure and kind of work that thing out. Not by like untangling or unknotting stuff, but by putting pressure, I'm going to down-regulate muscle tone and calm down those muscles. Also, because it's a bit of a compression and then decompression, by doing the foam rolling action, you're going to get some tissue fluid dynamics going on, and more fluid's going to move in and out, and it feels awesome. The last thing is, because you're putting pressure over your muscles, the tissues are going to start building better tolerance to having pressure on them. The nervous system input, it starts to feel a lot better. That's why massages feel better. That's why you rub your knee when you stub it. That's why even little kids who fall and hit their knee, they know to grab and rub it. Okay? Give that a shot. Let me know how it goes, brother.